Hey everybody, today we're going to see what it's going to take to revive this late 1970s farm tractor. It's definitely seen better days, but I know for a fact that it was running just a year or so ago. Tractors are kind of new to me, but I'm told they're actually pretty simple machines, so I'm willing to give it a shot. The badging says it's a white Field Boss 260, so that translates to two-wheel drive and 60 horsepower. It's actually made in Italy by Fiat for the American company White in sort of the late 1970s. I haven't actually checked the serial number to pin that down, but it doesn't really matter. There doesn't seem to be anything missing, and there's nothing obviously broken, so I'm optimistic for its recovery. I was able to get a key from the dealer, $9, which isn't too bad. Would have been a lot more from BMW, I'll tell you that. I've put a battery in to give it a little bit of current just to see what's going on. I'm going to just check it to see if it has any life at all, to be honest with you. I'm a little bit nervous because there's a wire there with no end. There's a light bulb hanging out the bottom. And of more concern is there's grass and such coming out from underneath this panel, which can never mean anything good. It pretty much has to be a mouse nest under there. So my experience with mice and wires and old vehicles is not positive. So let's give it a shot here. Put the key in. Now if I turn it to the left, hey, then that's for accessories, and it is completely dead. Not any lights, nothing at all, which is, I guess, not surprising. The battery's good. It's got lots of charge in it. And we'll turn it to the right, which should turn it to the on position, in which I can start it or try the starter to see if it's got any life, and it won't turn at all to the right. Not at all. It's completely stuck. No movement at all. To the left, nice solid click. To the right, it doesn't want to do anything. Let me flip the key over. It won't move. It won't move to the right. I have been able to get a copy of the owner's manual, and I have downloaded the service manual, so I have a really nice copy of the electrical diagram. Like I say, some of this stuff makes me a little bit nervous, so I think what I'm going to do is take off this dashboard. Looks like it has to come off first, and then this panel, which has the key, the ignition switch in it, and then we'll see what's going on with all this mess down here in these wires. Okay, so let me gather the tools, and I'll be right back. Hey, they turn. That one turns. That one's a little tight. There it comes. Right on. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. And here we go. 4 for 4. That's awesome. Yeah. Let me just show you what's going on here. So here is the back of the instrument panel. The wires have been chewed off. Looks like I'll be able to figure it out easy enough. I'm just going to take this inside and do some soldering. It'll be a lot easier than working on it out here. There's mouse crap all over the place in here. Back of the switch. Actually, those wires look like they're all intact, so I'll just keep disassembling and get it inside and cleaned up. And I guess I'll have to throw a tarp over this. All right. Well, I don't see any lines to really tell the difference between these two red wires. There's numbers on the back of the switch. That's number 30. That's number 50. So what I'm going to do, I take this marker and I'm just going to mark this red one right here, and that will be number 30. The green and this black are pretty obvious where they go. I've got a picture of that. So I think we're pretty good to take this all apart now. Should be able to figure it out to put it back together again. This is a nice angle over here, so maybe I'll just pop a quick picture. I take a lot of pictures as I go. All right. Hopefully these come. Oh yeah, baby. All right, let's go. Let's go. There we go. Good. Cool. Yep. Ooh, yeah. I'll take all of this inside. Clean it all up. There we go. There's the first piece off. Alright, so this is the back of the ignition switch. I've taken a few pictures, cleaned up the wires with a little bit of Windex and a rag so I can put it all back together properly. It all looks pretty straightforward. I did double check everything with the wiring harness. It all kind of makes sense, or wiring diagram. It all makes sense, so hopefully it comes apart. Oh yeah. Now, that's the horn. It doesn't go into a plug anywhere, so hopefully it... Oh, look at that. Hopefully it just comes undone, and it does. Isn't that amazing? God, this is so nice and simple. I've taken the switch out of the cowling, out of the dashboard there, and I've got some really good news actually. So what I did is I just took a screwdriver. I did this off camera, and I just started picking away, and a whole bunch of sawdust and like belly lint came out of there. And then the key went in just a little bit further, and look at that. It turns. So I've sprayed just a little bit of penetrating oil in there. I like Deep Creep, and I'm going to just let that kind of sit for a while. But it looks like I've got it going or moving, which is a good thing because these are fairly pricey items. The next thing I'm going to do is I'll take a wire brush or some, I don't know what I'll take, something, and I'll start cleaning up all these contacts, make them a little bit nicer, clean all this up. Maybe take a little wire brush to it, just a little hand wire brush, and just clean all the crap off. And that's a good sign. That's a good sign. So now I just have to just keep picking away at those wires. It's going to take a bit of time and patience to sort this wiring out. Most of the wires have been chewed off tight to the terminals, so I can't really tell what color they used to be. When I do stuff like this, I aim to get everything functioning properly. All the gauges, all the switches, all the lights, everything. I'll be using new terminals and splicing in a short bit of automotive wire to give me a little bit room to maneuver. I solder all my connections and cover them with heat shrink tubing to make sure they are both insulated and protected. So it was the middle of January in Canada when I put the dash back in. My hands were freezing, and then three unfortunate things happened in quick succession. My iPhone battery died, electrical smoke came out of the starter when I tried it again, and it snowed the next day. Now, working on ice-cold cast iron in the snow is pretty low on my list of enjoyable tasks, so I conceded the first round to the tractor and vowed to come back to it in better weather. Removing the starter was actually a pretty simple task. There was lots of room to access the bolts and nothing in the way when I had to pull it out. The ring gear looks pretty good, so hopefully the electrical shop can get me moving again fairly soon. While they have it, I decided to strip all the body metal off to get a better look at the engine and eventually pressure wash it clean. Somebody's had this metal off in the past. There's a couple of standard bolts kind of jammed into the metric threads. I hate when I come across stuff like that, so I'll fix all that and make sure it's all metric when it goes back together. Removing the metal is definitely going to make it easier to track the wires and just generally have better access to all the little parts and pieces that may be stuck or missing or broken or dried out underneath.
I'm sure I'll eventually get to painting this thing again, but I don't want to put that kind of effort into it until I know for absolute sure that everything is A-OK and in proper working order. The body panels are actually in pretty good shape, they're just a little bit rusty. I'll have to maybe do a little bit of work to track down the decals and stuff. The starter proved to be beyond repair, and original parts are kind of scarce and certainly expensive, so they advised me to replace it with an aftermarket Bosch unit. It fit perfectly, and being a nice warm day, the engine should turn over really easily with a fresh battery. And there it is, live again. I'm going to let it warm up for a while and look it over before I let it run for too long. There's a couple of obvious issues that will need to be addressed fairly quickly. I'll show you in the next video what they are and how I fixed them. So subscribe, okay? So you can see what's going on. Thanks for watching.